Oh, hello. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Lise Long, and today in this webinar, we will be talking about writing a winning resume and cover letter. But before we get into all of that, let me first take some time to introduce Apprenticely for those who are not familiar. We are a nonprofit organization here in the state of Arkansas, where we are dedicated in building and retaining top talent in the state of Arkansas. We partner with companies large and small and all different areas. So in IT, we're branching out into healthcare and manufacturing, but our foundation will always be IT. So let me again introduce myself. I'm Elise Long, a talent recruiter and career coach here. The talent team here at Apprenticely includes Nicole Parsons, Ashley French, Katie Range, and Jenny Sales. So if you ever need anything, most likely you'll be talking to one of these ladies. But for today, you get to hear my voice about crafting a winning resume and cover letter. You probably heard it before, but your resume should be a reflection of you. Everyone has opinions on resumes, and we're here to tell you what you've been seeing best in our HR and hiring experience. What should our resume look like? You know, we always have those age-old debates. Should it have color? Should it have picture? I'm here to set the record straight and help you craft that winning resume. Let's first talk about the basics of the resume. Very big and easy to read. Remember of your resume as like that elevator pitch. So you need about 4 to 5 seconds to capture the recruiter's attention. So remember, no images, limit use of color. And nowadays, resumes can be about 2 pages, but let's try not to exceed that. The sections of the resume include your contact information, a summary of your skills or an objective statement, your skills, and then education and work experience. And we'll go through and talk about what each section should contain on your resume. First, let's start with the contact information. This should be the biggest part of your resume, which is your name. It goes right there, smack dab in the middle. Hi, I'm Elise Long. And it should include the name in which you go by and any pronouns that you use as well. Underneath your big and bolded name, it should be your contact information, such as your phone, email, city and state, and optional these days, LinkedIn and GitHub. I don't think it should be optional. I think it should be required if you have one of those links. If you don't know that, but if you do, an extra adage to add on your resume that, hey, here are more ways to get in touch with me or another way to look at my work. But we'll talk about that later. So let's go back to our contact information. So we have our name in big bold. Then let's do our phone and email next. So underneath the name on the far left, let's start with phone number, the phone number that I can best contact you on, and then your email address. We want professional emails. So like our example here on the slide, no hot mama at Gmail. If you're a hot mama, great, but I want to know your first and last name maybe at gmail.com. Google has a way now where if you go and you put in your information, they'll come up with the best professional email. And so that is like to contact you. Our next place is city and state. Where do you live? I want to make sure that when you're applying to these places that it aligns with where you are. So we want that current city. Even if you feel like, okay, I live somewhere in Timbuktu, it's okay. People will usually go by the closest city. So I would use Little Rock, Arkansas, for example. Nowadays, there's no need to include exactly your address. So do not put that street address. I just need that city and state. And for those who are open to relocation, meaning that you're open to any state in the United States of America, you need to put that. Because if I live in Arkansas, but a recruiter in Texas sees my resume, they could be a little confused. Maybe this was an accident. Maybe she met the Arkansas location. But if I put open to relocation, maybe like a little asterisk, that lets the recruiter know, hey, she lives in Arkansas, but she's open to Texas. And then that LinkedIn GitHub optional. Again, it's a great way, another extra step to contact a person, but also to see that profile in any of your projects. So just make sure that that LinkedIn and GitHub link work and are up to date and ready to show. Now, the next part of our resume is that summary and objective statement. So in this, I want to hear a little bit about yourself. I want to see about 1 to 2 sentences about who you are, summarizing your resume. So for those who are a career changer, a great way to start is looking to start an IT career in such and such. Or a nice way to summarize your previous work, a former, let's just say, teacher in mathematics looking to start an IT career in data analytics. Then we want to highlight your superpowers. So in this example, we have a senior customer service representative with 7+ years of experience working in and leading a call center team. So going back to my example as a teacher, a former high school math teacher who did that for about 5 years, looking to start an IT career in data analytics. And again, another step, that relocation, open to relocation in Central or Northwest Arkansas. Again, that's optional for those of us that are interested in that part of our resume, if you want a recruiter to know and see that. But let's at least focus on the career changers and the superpowers as a summary and objective. Okay, the next part of our resume is skills and work experience. So when we think of skills, we want hard skills, skills that you might see in the job description. So for us in IT, we want to work on those software languages, technology, frameworks, operating systems. So think like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, operating systems. If you're familiar with Linux, Microsoft, or Mac OS, I definitely want to see that. I also want to, if you don't have a whole lot of hard skills, add a little bit of soft skills. So hard worker, time management, but not a whole lot of those. I want to use those as filler words, but the ones I really want to see are the hard skills that include those software languages, technologies, and frameworks. After the skills section, let's add our work experience. In the work experience, we want bold job title or company. And then under that, we would like a city and state where that job was. I want to see bullet points of those duties and responsibilities that you had at that job. And also be mindful of your tenses, past or present, or even future if you're currently working at that job. When starting a bullet point, I want to see action words. So created, started, designed. No personal pronouns like I helped or I this. Nope, we just want action words. And if you can, be specific. Add metrics. Say you led a team of 100 where our sales goals increased by 20% under my leadership or something like that. Metrics are amazing. Be specific and be mindful of the tenses. And then the next part of our resume is education and training. So if you've been to a university or college, we want to add that. We want to talk about the name of the school, the degree obtained, including the major, and year of graduation. If it's less than 10 years, we want to add that to our resume. Then anybody who's obtained a certification or boot camp, those are education and that's training. We want to also add that. We want to add that program name, that course completed, and even the completion date. Now, when it comes to the timeline on our resume, we want it chronological order from most recent going down to the past. So let's just say I got a certification in CompTIA. I want to say I got CompTIA A+, and then year, I want to say month completed May 2024. But then I graduated from college, Mississippi State, May 2020. So that's how we want that. So first would be that CompTIA certification, then my university because of the chronological order. So when we put all of that together, you'll see some changes, some contrast in the different resume formats. So the resume that's a winner here is the Kelly Blackwell. This is what I've just summarized in our previous slides. We have our big name in bold. Then we have our email, her LinkedIn, her phone number, and where she's located. And then underneath all that, open to relocation. And then we see her objective summary. We see her skills, her education, which includes, like I said in that order, it includes the boot camp, her university, and high school, and then professional experience. Whereas left our contrast of a not winner is Ham Dugo. He has a picture. His contact information isn't all together. His metrics are used in the form of a bar graph. We don't want that. I want to be able to read your metrics. And he has pictures, like not just of him, but also graphics with the money change. We want a clear resume, something that's easy to read from top to bottom. And for some additional resources, I've included some resumes that can help you within your job search. So sometimes we know that in today's world, resumes are going through what we call an applicant tracking system. And sometimes the applicant tracking system is looking for a resume that looks very similar to the job description. So these are some tools where you can put your resume in, put the job description, and it'll just like maybe tailor a few things to make your resume stand out in that applicant tracking system. These are free resources for you guys, the candidates. So resume tailoring tools for success. And then finally, we're going to talk about that cover letter. Cover letters, they're not completely going away. There's some jobs still require it. So if a job requires it, please don't fret. Don't turn around and say, not going to worry about this. This job could be the start of your. We just have to get over that first hurdle. So let's talk about those cover letter basics. So you have your header, which is your contact information and employer details. We want to do a greeting. It's just like any other letter that you've written before, but this is a letter expressing your interest in the company and why you would be a great fit. So that opening paragraph is going to state the position you're applying for in a production. And the body is going to entail the relevant skills, experience, and accomplishments. So remember how I said in the beginning that your resume is a reflection of you? This is a chance to maybe talk more in depth about what your resume has already about you. So I know that you may have worked at previous positions. Go into a little bit of detail about those previous positions in this cover letter. And then to close, expressing the interest again, requesting an interview, and thanking them. So that is some of the cover letter basics. And thank you guys so much for joining me on this webinar today. Here is the Apprenticely contact info, where you can find us on all of our social medias as Apprenticely. There's our website at apprenticely.org and our email and phone number. So thank you guys for joining today as we talked about crafting a winning resume and cover letter. See you guys later.